In this video, we're going to make a slight change to the avg2 program that we did last time in this playlist. It's really a small difference, but it's impactful. The overall goal, remember, is to be able to make a scalable algorithm that can calculate the average of thousands, millions of numbers, really. And so this is where we're headed. We're headed towards things that are more scalable than just simple A equals 3, B equals 5, C equals 8, that kind of thing, right? Okay, so I'm going to make a new project. Even though it's very slightly different, I'm going to make a whole new folder, a whole new project. So I go to the search bar, I type CMD, up comes the command prompt, I click on that, then I get into the right directory by going cd space OneDrive, cd space desktop, then cd space Python code. And if you don't have OneDrive, you don't need to do the OneDrive step, of course. Okay, so now I'm on the right, I'm in the overall Python code directory or folder, and then I'm going to make project avg2a. That's all one word, avg2a. So that's this slight increment to avg2. I go into File Manager, I double click on it, and it comes up in Notepad++. When it comes up, you see that average2.py is still up. Notepad++ usually does that. If it doesn't do that, you're gonna have to open it up too. And so that they both are open, but usually the last file that you did is also open. So, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to utilize that, right? I'm going to go into average2.py. I'm going to double click on the tab, the leftmost tab. And then I do Control-A, Control-C to copy everything in there. Then I go to average2a.py, the right tab up there on the top left corner of Notepad++. And then I do Control-A, Control-V to highlight the Hello World program and then paste over it the average2.py program. So that's my starting point. My starting point is average2.py for this average2a.py script. Good? Good. Okay, so then I can close up average2.py. I can just close up that tab and I'm left only with the average2a.py, and I can save it and Control-S to save it, and so I'm ready to start. I'm only going to change 2 lines in this program. Wherever I see a 3, I'm going to change it with len, L-E-N, in parentheses, A. Len is the length. So what's the length of A? Right, 3. There's 3 elements in this case. And so, in the for loop, for I in range, len A, length parentheses A. And then the average value, average equals sum divided by len parentheses A. Right, so all I did was replace 3 with the length of A. So the algorithm now measures the length of A, and it's going to do it that number of times, and it's going to divide. The average is the sum divided by that number of points, right? The number of points in A. I save it. I go back into the command prompt. I do Python 3 space average2a.py, and lo and behold, it gives me 5 1/3. It gives me the same answer as before, no problem. Right, okay, so now that we have this algorithm much more scalable, let's play with it, all right? Let's add a couple points. So I go up into A, I go back to average2a.py in Notepad++. I put comma 4, comma 9. So I added 2 more points, 5 points. I am not changing any other line in this script. Everything else stays exactly the same. I Control-S, I save it, I go back to the command prompt, I write Python 3 space average2a.py, boom, 5.8. That's the average of those 5 numbers, right? And so that was pretty easy. It's pretty easy to change the number of points and still get the same answer without changing that code at all. That's the definition of a scalable algorithm. That's the definition of an algorithm where the number of points doesn't matter. And so we're getting close to learning more about scalable algorithms, and this is a good example. So this is kind of an intro, a pre-intro to the average2 script that we're going to do next video. A lot of the stuff that we're learning can be obviated with other ways in Python. A lot of things that we're learning here are much more C-like or some low-level programming structure. You do need those tools too at certain points when you're doing Python, but a lot of times, a lot of things are built in for you, and so that's what we're going to learn next time, how to use sort of some of the built-in characteristics, very powerful built-in characteristics of Python to do all our tasks for us.